Okay, YouTube. I'm I'm Eric Fix, and I want to say welcome back. I have not done a video in months, if not forever. This is my first video in a long time. I'm trying out this new setup. Well, it's not really a new, but the mic. I've never used it before. Um, on my phone. I have this Drill Master Impact, 1/4 inch, of course. It's extremely old. I've I've had it for, I don't know, goodness, 9 years, 10 years almost. And I'm finally going to tear into it for once and take it apart. Um, it's been pretty good for what I needed it for, but due to age, it kind of loses its strength. And so, yeah, it's a Harbor Freight special. Like I said, it's pretty old. I've had it for a long time. I've got new drill guns and and stuff. And so this device only I'm taking apart. And if you guys have any questions or you want me to do a review on the ones that I do use, which is this one, as I bought these from Amazon, special. I got a set of them. I got this. I got a drill gun, and I think I have the 1/4 inch ratchet, electric ratchet. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. So yeah, let's tear it apart. But yeah, anyways, this is an impact. If you go the right way, it might come undone. But anyways, yeah, like I said, I've had it for years. It's been extremely reliable to a point. You get what you pay for. And if I remember correctly, I think I paid $30 for it because it was on sale. Those of you who is in my area, south of Idaho, this used to be I got this from the Harbor Freight that used to be on South 5th. And like I said, look at all this grease inside of it. Dielectric grease, I think. Ooh, stinky. It's good stuff. So anyways, let me clean my fingers up with it. And this would be the impact hammer. And it would hit this right here. You can see that. And those of you who knows what impacts are, this would go around. What if I could take this apart, I wonder? Maybe? Anyways, I'll get to this later. I'll make a separate video with this. I'll tear it apart and stuff. So we'll put that to the side. Anyways, so this is the impact hammer. It's on a spring, as you can see. I'm going to pause you for a minute. I'm going to go get some cloth to clean with. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. There's tons of videos on how an impact system works. So I won't get into that kind of detail with it. But I'm just going to show you this one, particularly brand name. I mean, it looks pretty beefy. It's not too bad. And if I go out of frame, I'm sorry. I'm using my phone, and it's like I can't really see it too well, what my video is looking like. So anyways, yeah. It's kind of a small one. But that's okay. This is not an actual impact. It's just a 1/4 inch. The spring's pretty stiff. All right, well, let's tear into it. I gotta change out the bit. Okay, let's see here. Well, I didn't put it in properly. There, now it is. Oh no, gotta get a hand screwdriver. And I think I did had one out. Yeah, there it is. We'll take these screws out. Put that to the side for now. This is a set that I got from Napa Auto Parts many years ago, And none of this I'm selling or advertising. This is just the tools that I have on hand. So just let you guys know, I'm not a sponsor of anything that I use today. All of this I've actually purchased myself. Let's see here. Not that many screws, apparently. Like I said, I've never been into this kind of a tool before, so I've been into that yellow one, Dremel? No, not a Dremel. Yeah, that one. Let's open up this clamshell, as Boltar would say. And if anybody has any comments, questions, thoughts, just go ahead and put them in the comment section. I may not always read them, but I'll get around to it eventually. Like I said, I don't really make a lot of videos. I don't know. I don't have enough stuff to make a video out of. Let's see here. There we go. Let's see what we're working with here. I probably won't be doing a lot of talking on this video. I'll just be doing more focusing on tearing it apart, explaining some things, maybe. I don't know a lot of stuff. Ooh, looky what we got here. Yeah, it's ABS and TPE. Okay, see it right here. ABS and TPE plastic. I used to know what they stand for. Boltar would always explain those. And I forgot because I haven't watched his videos in a long time. I like him. He's awesome. Of course, I broke this. This was me. I did it too tight. I was going in and not out. Whoops. So, this is the switch. Ooh, I must have it unlocked. I mean, it's still good. I mean, it's got a little bit of a fight to it. It's still got a lot of tension on it. I mean, this looks a little bit of, questionable. But hey, it worked. I've had it for years. I mean, I didn't really put it through the ringer, but the battery was extremely big. It was half the weight, if not more than the weight of the tool itself. So that's cheap part because of the battery, and it has to be big too, of course. Well, this is an 18-volt motor, which is pretty much what it advertised. Probably an off-the-shelf thing, probably. Same size, same thing with the last one. Okay, this is the motor. This is a gear reduction, probably. I bet you this is a gear reduction. Make it, more stronger. Let's see about going into the planetary gear set. Can I unplug the wires? No. Well, they're pretty strong. Well, we'll get into this planetary gear set. Hopefully, the magnet would let me. We'll get into this planetary gear set and find out what it looks like. How beefy, I guess, the gears are. And anyways, when I'm done doing this, I'm gonna probably toss it. I've already recycled the battery already. Nobody needs to know what the battery looks like just because there's a billion of them on YouTube. This is just me making a video. Been a long time. Um, this is not what I do to get money, so I don't do this often. I do this because I like to. Sometimes I've got wonderful vehicles that don't need fix, so it's really hard for me to make videos on a vehicle that I can't fix. Okay, anyways, if I'm correct, this is called a sun gear. This is a planetary gears, and I don't know what the outside is. I can't remember, I'm sorry. My last video I did this, I didn't have a clue. But yeah, sun gear, planetary, and ring gear. Yeah, this is called a ring gear, I think. Don't quote me on it, but a ring gear, because it's a ring. And of course, this got a good reduction, and of course, you can see how the gears move between reverse and backwards. No, with the thing in the center, it keeps them out, so it doesn't matter. It's nothing to do with that. It's just because the sun gear is missing. That's why it moves. Well, it shouldn't be doing that, should it? It should have like a little thing in the center holding these in place. But maybe you don't have to because of the sun gear. Is what keeps it. And this grease that's in it, it's not thick like the other grease. It's thinner. Feels like it's sandy. Probably because it's dirty. So, anyways, there's the sun gear, planetary gear, and the ring gear. Like I said, it's a torque reduction. So even though this spins super fast, this will spin a little slower, and it'll only spin one way. And and the reverse, I think, is in the electronic. No, the electronic would change this from left to right. The polarize. Yes. Sorry, I'm barely remembering how it works. So the MOSFET, I think. No, it's not a MOSFET. See, wait a minute. Yeah, that's broken. Oh, wow. So I was right. There is poles to hold it in place. And this one, you can see it's still inside. Hey, and it still worked. What do you know? Well, now we know. Let's see here. How do I get that out? Or what tool would I need to get it out? This might be my fastest video ever. Yeah, and with all these gears and everything put together, it's called a planetary gear set. I believe it is. What requires you to be emptied out? Wow. That is... Well, I can look at it and scratch my head. Well, until I find out, I'm going to pause it, and then I'll bring it back when I figure it out. Okay, I got it figured out. Of course I did it. See, it has these balls. What I had to do was to take it and squish it, and yeah. Well, they had a couple of balls here. That's the bearings, okay. You see how these, better yet, we'll just do it this way. See how these grooves are on this? It had two balls. Yeah, two of the big balls was on each side. You know, prevented it from coming off. It was on the inside. There's a groove inside here too. And of course, these two are the ball bearings. So that's how it stayed on with these two bearings, balls, whatever you want to call them. And it can hold it on. So yeah, this is, like I said, it's pretty slippery. You can see it's kind of shiny. So it's not really the best stuff, but hey, it worked, right? And here's the planetary ring gear, bearings. Bearings pretty good, you know, it's not wiggly or anything. It just had the ball bearings and it was on the spring, so you know, it was like this, which allow it to move, you know, so it could be under tension and then bounce over the pawl, or not the pawl, the other piece. This would bounce over it. Then when it comes back in, it'll engage in it, and I will look into getting that separated later. But yeah, that's pretty much what it is. This is the impact part. Instead of just constantly moving, it hits it and it makes it twist, and that gives you the torque. Well, not the torque, but the impact, because it's impacting another part. Of course, this is like a bearing washer thing, you know. So, you know, anyways, it looks pretty gruesome. Yeah, I'll clean it off, show you. Even though it's lubricated, it's either got wear marks on it or it's just rusting under that grease. Yeah, it looks like rust. And also has wear marks too. See, here's the rust right here. But it's not bad, you know. It's on the outside, and you kind of can see the wear marks where it spins. And here's the other side of it. Of course, that was driving on this, which is plastic, and it has those groove marks. Yeah, see how it has those two marks where this would rub onto, you know, right here and here. And this is just, you know, plastic, so I don't really need to take it off. This is a switch, you know, one side, middle's lock. That's to go the other direction. You know, this is where the power comes in, and also the light, you know, for in front. Well, this is pretty much it. I'm gonna go tinker with the other part, and then I'll bring you back in. Try to see if we can get all this done just in one day. You know, so give me a minute. I'll get that other one looked at, so we can take it apart, and then kind of give you an idea of what it does. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and I got it figured out, and I went ahead and took care of it. It has this washer and this C-clip. It's called a C-clip. And of course the spring was holding it on to here. You know, this was right here, and of course, you know, this piece was in Actually, it went like this. Then I had 3 balls here, which is right here. And I had this on, and then of course it had this and this, which was holding it on, which was holding this on to, so that's how it went. Sometimes there's something in the middle here that you unscrew. But anyways, so this piece, just like this, has this turn. It knocks it, makes this come up, goes over, and then it'll speed up and then hit again like that. It'll come back with the spring here, the tension. Then it'll come back again and it'll speed up and then it'll hit, this is called an impact because of that. It'll impact up, over, spin some more, Of course, it depends on the strength of the spring here. If this spring is weak, then it won't really hit very hard before it has to go back and then come back down. Well, So this is how this works. And as you can see, let me get it cleaned up a little bit. I don't know if you can see it through the camera, but you can see how it's got these damage right here. Let me get a screwdriver. Right here. See how it is right here? And it has this right here. Again, more damage right there. There. Well, this has got more here because this is actually backing out, I think. Because this gets used more than this side. And I think this is because it's going in. Mostly. Why it's that bad. So, anyways, that's how that looks like. Let's go ahead and let's grab this piece. The pawl. I think it's called a pawl. Oh, my mic is not even on me. My apologies. There, now it's on me. It might be too close to me too, because I'm kind of talking a little loud. So I'm sorry. Let's see here. Dinky 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 dink. Yep, okay. Now I get to show you this piece now. There, get you into frame. As you can see how, let me see if we can flip it around a little bit. You see how that corner here is damaged more than this here. See? Sorry, I'm looking through the phone from top to get you, a picture of it. See the difference? And of course you can see the scratches on top because that's where this would come back and it'll push against this again and it'll rotate on top. And this will do this again like this. And then it'll spin because it'll pick up here and then it'll stop and compress the spring. This will compress, but this won't. This will stay sturdy. Then it'll come up, rub against there, drop in, speed up again. Anyways, you get it. There's a lot of videos on how this works. Some even have it cut away on the tool, and you can see how this spins, hit, bounces up, goes back over, and there's a lot of videos that shows this. But this is just my video, the way I'm showing it. It's, like I said, nothing special, you know. So pretty much, this is how it works. Of course, the motor goes one way or the other, and it has that gear reduction here. And speaking of the gears, I believe these are press metal. I think it's called press. I don't know exactly the term it is, but I don't know if you can get close enough. Kind of see how it's got the it's not actually smooth and shiny. It has flakes. What they do is they take this powder, they put it in like a dye, and then they compress it really, really tight and heat it up, and all that powder melts together, and then you get this pressed out. And of course, where it is shiny, that's where it's been, spinning. It's been rubbed smooth with, yeah, whatever that part was. Um, yeah, this. No, this. Because that's what was touching the metal, and it was rubbing smooth with the oil and the grease what was in there. And this is why that's shiny, but the outer part isn't. But the teeth is really good still. They're not sharp anymore, but they're still in good shape. Well, maybe. Not that I got a closer look now. Yeah, I'm looking at it through the phone because I can focus on it more with the phone. It looks not too bad. So, anyways, that's this motor. Of course, it's a Drill Master, which is pretty old. I mean, it's not really old, but it's like 10 years old or so, 12 years old, maybe more, maybe less. And this is just my video of a breakdown of it. You know, so like I said, if you have any questions, comments, whatever, complaints, I'll take it all. You know, I'm not biased. So there you go. This is just what it looks like, what it is. Most impact would be like this kind of style in general, but like this might be different here, may be different. This might be different. This will be heavier, bigger, smaller. You know, but they're all in the same idea. So, anyways, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to give me a like, by all means, I'll thank you for it. If you don't give me a like and a hate, I still thank you for that too. At least you took your time to watch it, and I appreciate it. And you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you in the next video.